up, everybody? This is Danielle with Murder and Coffee, where I sit here and drink coffee and tell you a bunch of random fucking stuff. So, I'm going to try something new and try recording twice a week. Twice. Which means little sleep for this mommy. And yeah, that's going to be great. So, this go around, sorry, playing with the toddler. This go around, I'm going to do a couple of mysteries. One solved, one still unsolved. It's still considered a cold case in Philadelphia. And I don't know if it's because I'm a mom or a human or all of the above, but the one in Philadelphia, tugged at my heartstrings, and I was talking to a coworker about it, and it tugged at her heartstrings too, and it was something. So, like I said, I'm going to start putting out 2 videos a week, Tuesday and Friday, so keep an eye out for that. So, the first story we're going to get into here is the boy in the box. So, in Fox Chase, Philadelphia, on February 25th, 1957, the body of a John Doe was discovered naked with bruises all over, wrapped up in a blanket, and inside a large cardboard box in the woods of a I don't know how to say it. The cardboard box was later determined to be a specific baby cradle brand that was only sold at JCPenney at that time frame. Before the authorities became aware, the first witness came across the body, but ultimately, they didn't report it. A second witness who later came across the scene also did not disclose their finding to authorities initially, though they did change their mind the following day. So, this is the part that I think is the most fucked up. The body of the John Doe was estimated to be between the ages of 3 and 7 years old and had several scars. How... I got nothing. And I don't have a nerdy cup today. I'm actually drinking cold coffee. How do you not report something that you see like that? But my biggest question is, who the fuck would do that to a child? I read and see all these stories on the pages that I follow, and it really fucks with me. Because not only am I a mom, I'm a human. I have emotions and empathy and all of that. So, and I just think it's fucked up. Anyways, the point is, this kid was spotted fucking twice. Twice, dude. And one person was poaching. The first one, he was poaching illegal muskrat traps. Never said a fucking word until the second boy, who was spying on girls at a local all-girls school, waited a few days to report it to the fucking police. So, the boy in the box was described as having blue eyes, fair complexion, and medium to light brown, crudely cut hair. I'm sorry, when I read that, I think they cut his hair to make it look like he wasn't taken care of. But then, this little detail that his nails were noted as being neatly trimmed, that was due to not be able to collect scratch at them. They were trying to protect themselves by doing that. That's pretty fucked. He had deep bruises covering much of his body and face, and experts speculate that due to the cold weather, the child may have been lying in that box between 2 to 3 days or 2 to 3 weeks. That means it was fucking cold enough to maintain that poor baby's body. One of the scars was shaped like the letter L and located just under his chin. The other scars appeared to have been surgically done, with one located on his ankle and the other in his groin area, respectively. Appearance-wise, his hair seemed to have been crudely chopped recently, as clumps of long, light-colored hair were found to still be clinging to him. The fuck? He also appeared to have been in a state of severe malnourishment. So, the evidence we have so far for this case: a child's blue corduroy cap, a child's scarf, and a man's white handkerchief with a G in the corner. The boy's hair was crudely cut and located throughout his body, indicating it was cut while he was deceased and naked or immediately before he died. His hands and feet were wrinkled, indicating they were submerged in water for an extended time, just before or after he had died. The child may have had a chronic eye ailment. He had not eaten 2 to 3 hours before his death. The faded, cheap flannel blanket he was wrapped in was made in either North Carolina or Quebec, Canada. It was also mass-produced and shipped to multiple locations, so there was no way of tracing it. His esophagus contained a dark brown residue, possibly indicating he had vomited shortly before his death. Severely malnourished, and the cause of death was multiple blows to the head. But these lead fucking nowhere. And I can guarantee you, whoever did this back then, they're probably dead or in a home and don't even remember doing this due to dementia or Alzheimer's. That is sad. The boy was buried in a potter's field next to Mechanicsville and Dunksbury Road. The tombstone simply read, "Heavenly Father, bless this unknown boy." Eventually, the boy's body was exhumed in 1998, and mitochondrial DNA was extracted from his tooth. And as of the time of researching this, efforts were underway to link this child to a relative by scanning it through a database. But the mitochondrial DNA sequence is too small to produce a conclusive match with anybody. November 11th, 1998, the boy was reburied in a donated coffin at the Ivy Hill Cemetery, and a website was launched to keep the boy's memory alive and to help generate new leads. The website is America's Unknown Child. I looked it up, and I'm trying not to cry right now because this is like a very, very sad and fucked up story. That website, though, like, it has the pictures that the police took when he had been found. Yeah. So, the theories so far are Frederick Benosis, who was spying on young wayward girls, was initially thought of as a suspect, but he was questioned and cleared via a lie detector. A foster home located about 1.5 miles from the crime scene was the first location police officers wanted to check. There were 8 foster children residing there at the time. All the children located at the foster home were checked out and the family was ruled out. Speculation still exists that Arthur Nicoletti, who ran this foster home, is somehow involved, but he refused to take a lie detector test, and a psychic hired to assist in the investigation led investigators directly to the foster home. The psychic never visited there before. The strongest lead occurred in May of 2002 when a businesswoman known as M from Cincinnati, Ohio, claimed her mother purchased the boy from his parents in 1954. They named the boy Jonathan, who was regularly abused and housed in the basement. He was described as being handicapped and could not speak. M claimed her mother killed him in February of 1957 in a fit of rage by throwing him down on the floor after he vomited in the bathtub after eating baked beans. Investigators thought this was the lead they were looking for to finally solve this case, but after 6 months of attempting to corroborate her story, it was determined that M had a history of mental illness, and none of the information she passed could be proven. But hope is still remaining for this case that it will be solved. Court TV, 48 Hours, and America's Most Wanted have featured it on episodes. Hopefully the lead that everyone has been waiting for will present itself. I just hope they find the sick fuck who did that to that poor child. Like, good God. And I know lie detector tests cannot be held accountable in a court of law because it's easy to fake. But I'm pretty sure if they got this lady named M to answer questions and be watched by a psychiatrist or psychologist, a therapist, anyone who can read body language, tell if there's lies, anything, I bet you she's probably telling the truth. Just saying. But then again, I just share the stories. I'm not a cop. I'm not a detective. They probably already done it and it just wasn't released to the press. Who knows? So, story number 2. Karen Klaas. So, it was a bit of a high-profile one back in the day. Let's see here. This one was solved, actually. Just so you know. Kind of recent. January 30th, 1976, Karen Klaas had just dropped off her 4-year-old son at school. The 32-year-old mother of 2 then returned to her house on Hermosa Beach, where she was sexually assaulted, strangled by the unknown assailant, and left for dead. When she didn't meet her friends for coffee that morning, they checked on her and saw a man leaving her home. They called police. Funny thing, she was the ex-wife of Bill Medley. The dude who did Time of Your Life from Dirty Dancing. She was in a coma for days until she died of her injuries on February 4th in 1976. At the violent scene, detectives collected biological evidence, including a towel lying next to her body, and held onto it for 40 years. 40 fucking years! Like, god damn! Hoping it would lead to her killer. Using a match to a relative's DNA, investigators have linked Kenneth Eugene Troyer to Klaas's killing. Los Angeles County Sheriff's officials announced at a press conference. Troyer was a felon who escaped a California prison and was fatally shot by Orange County authorities in 1982. This guy was 29 when he committed this fucking crime. This break brought closure to Medley and his two sons. Now, Troyer died before he could be required to give his DNA. This happened during a crime spree he had been on since his escape from California Men's Colony State Prison. He escaped on January 30th, 1982. He traveled to Orange County, where he went on a crime spree for a month and a half. Brandenburg, that's all he was labeled as when I was doing my research, had said Troyer was wanted in connection with 19 burglaries, 3 armed robberies, and a couple of sexual assaults. Authorities created a task force to find Troyer. On March 14th, 1982, authorities finally caught up with Troyer, and as police tried to take him into custody, he was shot and killed. So, Fry's side, 1 unsolved, 1 solved. Now, the question is here, how in the hell are we gonna help find out who the boy in the box is? I think all of us should go to this website. Just to keep updated on it. Because if we do, then that means that we are still trying to help find this child. Find out who he is. Anything. And I personally, because I'm a human and I'm humane, I'm going to go to the website again. I'm going to keep checking. And if there are any updates on this, trust me, y'all are going to be the first ones to know. I'll break it here. So, it's just insane. Let's see here. What have I been watching? I've been watching a lot of stuff. Recently, Crime Vault here on YouTube, they've put out some James Holmes, the Aurora shooting, psychology tapes from when he was being evaluated by a psychologist in prison. I've been watching those. They are really, really long, but at the same time, they are perfect. I can sit there and watch those like nobody's business. I am pretty sure my husband is sick of it. Leah Remini's Aftermath about the Church of Scientology. I have been watching that one nonstop. What else? I just got New Time magazine, the Mob edition. Yeah. And I don't have anything else. I've been listening to Serial Killers podcast from Parcast. Also, Small Town Murders. That one is amazing. Also, check out Hostage. You can find all those on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, pretty much anywhere. Again, the song at the beginning of the video is Blackest Eyes by The Sky Burns Brighter. And I want to give them a huge shout out. They've been doing amazing. They actually just did a benefit concert for the Special Olympics here in Idaho, and they did great. Free the Jester, they're from Spokane. They were amazing also. What else? If y'all want me to do any videos on anything else, just comment below. Remember, subscribe, like, follow me on Facebook. I do post memes, but mostly after I post something that's very depressing or I think it relates to the page. What else? I'm sorry. I'm exhausted. It has been one of those weeks. But let's see here. I want to say a huge thank you to you guys. You have all been amazing. And I love every single one of you for just sticking through this with me. I know I am like the biggest pain in the ass. So, thank you. And I hope you guys keep continuing to support me. I'm going to have a poll at the end of the video. It's going to be whether you guys want me to do a missing persons or a serial killer. So make sure you vote on that. And yeah, it's going to be a great time, you guys. I'm going to post another video on Tuesday. That one's going to be on occult as well. And yeah, thank you so much. Please remember, subscribe, comment, like, hit that bell for the notifications, and also check out your Crime Stoppers websites for your town that you're in. I try to check that at least once a week just to see what's going on. Y'all have a great night, day, morning, whatever it is while you're watching this, and I will be back again on Tuesday. Mwah.